On August 20th, 1966, on the slopes of Vintém Hill near Rio de Janeiro, a young boy flies his kite. The wind carries it further than usual, leading him into the dense undergrowth. As he searches, he stumbles upon a scene he will never forget. Two men, dressed in impeccable three-piece suits, lie side by side on a bed of leaves. There are no signs of a struggle, no obvious injuries, no blood, but on their faces, covering their eyes, are two crudely handmade lead masks. The initial shock gives way to a profound and disturbing mystery. Why did two electronics engineers climb this remote hill to deliberately die? And what were they trying to see through those masks? The answers, it turns out, are more bizarre than anyone could have imagined. This wasn't a simple crime scene. It was a puzzle box, and each piece only made the picture stranger. The men were quickly identified as Manoel, Pereira, Cruz, and Miguel, José, Viana. They weren't vagabonds or victims of a random act of violence. They were respected family men, skilled electronics technicians from the nearby city of Campos. Their lives appeared completely normal, yet their final days were anything but. Investigators discovered that just days before their deaths, the two men had told their families they were traveling to São Paulo to buy electronic components for a job and possibly a car. They left with a significant amount of money, the equivalent of about $2,000 today, but that money was never found with their bodies. Reconstructing their last journey reveals a series of strange decisions. They didn't go to São Paulo. Instead, they took a bus to Niterói, a city near Vintém Hill. A waitress at a local bar remembers them vividly. She said they seemed anxious, constantly checking their watches. One of them, Miguel, bought a bottle of mineral water. It was the last purchase he would ever make. Shortly after, they were seen at a local shop buying raincoats, despite the clear weather. Then, they started their final ascent up Vintém Hill, carrying the water, the raincoats, and the lead masks they had crafted themselves. The image of normality had shattered, replaced by a meticulously planned, yet utterly baffling, final act. Their journey wasn't for a job. It was for an appointment. At the scene, alongside the bodies, police found the bottle of mineral water, the two raincoats, a handkerchief, and a small, water-damaged notebook. It was inside this notebook that the investigation took a sharp turn from a standard police procedural into the realm of the unknown. The pages contained a series of cryptic, coded instructions, a bizarre to-do list for their final hours. Written in Portuguese, the notes read, 4:30 p.m. B. At the agreed location. 6:30 p.m. Swallow the capsule. After effect. Protect metals and wait for the mask signal. This wasn't a suicide note. It was a protocol. A set of steps for a secret experiment. Each instruction raises more questions than it answers. What capsule were they supposed to swallow? What effect were they anticipating? And what did it mean to protect metals? The most haunting detail, of course, was the masks. Why lead? The immediate scientific answer is that lead is an excellent shield against radiation. This single fact exploded the case into a dozen different theories. Were they expecting to witness a secret nuclear test? Did they believe they were about to make contact with an extraterrestrial craft? One that emitted dangerous energy? Or were they engaged in an even more esoteric pursuit, like time travel or interdimensional observation, believing the lead would protect them from the fallout of tearing a hole in reality? The medical investigation should have provided clarity, but it only added another layer of mystery. The initial coroner's report was inconclusive. By the time a full autopsy could be performed, the men's internal organs were too decomposed for a proper toxicological analysis. The official cause of death was listed as heart failure, but that explains nothing. How could two healthy men suffer simultaneous heart attacks? This glaring failure in the investigation has led many to question its integrity. Was it a case of simple incompetence by the local police, overwhelmed by the bizarre nature of the crime? Or were the real results of the autopsy deliberately suppressed, hidden away because they revealed a truth too inconvenient or too terrifying for the public to know? As official channels failed to provide answers, investigators and journalists began to look into the men's personal lives, and what they found pulled the case deep into the world of the invisible. Manoel and Miguel were not just electronics experts. They were deeply involved in scientific spiritualism. They were part of a secret society, an esoteric group of technicians and engineers in their hometown. This wasn't a seance with candles and Ouija boards. It was a high-tech attempt to bridge the gap between science and the supernatural. The group believed they could use their knowledge of electronics to build devices capable of communicating with spirits, or perhaps what they interpreted as extraterrestrial beings. Their method was a dangerous cocktail of technology and pharmacology. They would gather in secret, using radio equipment to listen for signals from the other side while ingesting psychotropic drug capsules to open their minds to these otherworldly frequencies. This context reframes the entire Vintém Hill incident. It wasn't about watching something, it was about participating in a communication protocol. This kind of fringe experimentation was not unique to a small group in Brazil. In the 1960s, a fascination with the paranormal and altered states of consciousness was sweeping the globe. The CIA was conducting its own notorious MK Ultra experiments, exploring mind control with LSD. Occult groups like the one led by Aleister Crowley had long preached the use of rituals and substances to contact non-human intelligence. Manoel and Miguel were not anomalies. They were products of an era obsessed with piercing the veil of known reality, using whatever tools they could find, whether it was a radio transmitter or a hallucinogenic pill. Then came the twist that confirmed this was not an isolated tragedy. Investigators uncovered a report from 4 years earlier, in 1962. On a different hill, the Mujo do Cruzeiro, another electronics technician named Hermes D. Costa, was found dead under uncannily similar circumstances. He was an associate of the same spiritualist group. Like Manoel and Miguel, he was found with no signs of violence. And next to his body, police found a homemade lead mask. The lead mask's case was not a one-time event. It was a pattern, a deadly, recurring ritual. It suggests the experiment had been attempted before, and had failed just as catastrophically. The deaths on Vintém Hill were not the beginning of the story. They were the tragic culmination of a long and dangerous obsession. Today, the official police files on the lead masks case are closed. The mystery remains unsolved, but the masks themselves are still preserved, kept behind glass in a police museum in Rio de Janeiro. They are a tangible link to that day on Vintém Hill, a silent testament to two men who walked to the edge of human understanding and fell into the abyss. They serve as a chilling reminder that at the volatile intersection of science, belief, and obsession, some secrets demand a price that the human mind cannot pay, and leave behind only questions that echo through the decades. The truth of what happened on that hill may be lost forever, sealed behind the leaden eyes of the dead. What do you think was in that capsule? A powerful hallucinogen, a deadly poison, or something else entirely? Tell me in the comments, and if you want to explore other declassified files and unsolved mysteries, subscribe to the channel.